a Polokwane family is appealing to members of the public for assistance in finding 4 boys aged between 6 and 15 years who were abducted by gunmen. The brothers are the children of prominent businessman Nazim Moti. That incident, we're told, occurred yesterday while the boys were on their way to school. The police have now launched a manhunt for these suspects. For more on the story, let's bring in the family lawyer, that's Phillip Smit, who joins us now via our telephone line. And Phillip, thanks very much indeed for making time to speak to us, especially under these trying circumstances. It's almost about 24 hours now since this incident actually occurred. What do you know about what happened?
Well, as the news came out yesterday, the children were abducted on the N1 bypass next to Petersburg on their way to school. And since then, no further news was obtained with regard to the whereabouts of the children.
As you and I speak now, have you received any kind of update from the abductors, from police?
Nothing at all, nothing at all.
Sure. It's really quite difficult. Do you have a reason or perhaps a sign that shows what might have been the motive behind the abduction? I mean, many people are obviously linking it to Nazim Moti, the father of the children, a prominent businessman in the region of Polokwane. Is that how you're also reading this incident?
It seems that there is a motive of ransom claim lying ahead. That's my personal opinion. I haven't spoken to anybody involved in this matter about that, but that is quite a prominent strategy of the criminals in these type of matters nowadays.
Right. What we understand is that typically it's actually businessmen who are abducted themselves. This is the first time I understand in Polokwane where children are now getting involved.
Yeah, that is correct.
Sure. Help us understand, I mean, what you've heard about, at least what police have been able to piece together so far. My understanding is that some of the gunmen were actually carrying SAPS or Defense Force serval rifles. Is that information that's been communicated to you?
That is correct. Some of the criminals had R5 rifles, which are rifles that's being used by the SAP and the SA Defense Force.
The children were obviously being driven by a driver to school. What's he had to say?
He was taken out of his vehicle by force before the children were removed and then put into another vehicle with which the criminals left the scene.
He wasn't able to ascertain anything else around the identity of the abductors, what they said was carrying out this crime, any of those kind of details?
No, there's not much information with regard to that. That said that the people are very well organized and they were wearing white overalls and masks or balaclavas, so they were not identifiable.
Sure. I mean, this is a difficult question to ask, but I have to ask it as well. How's the family doing? I can only imagine what the mother and the father of the boys are feeling at this stage.
Yeah, the family is going through a very distressful and traumatic or traumatized period at this stage. They are being assisted by other family and friends. I must just mention to you that it is phenomenal to see the whole of South Africa reacting on this ordeal. I received more than 600 phone calls and WhatsApp messages from yesterday afternoon until last night at 11 o'clock, and it continued early this morning, of people wanting to assist, experts wanting to assist, and people just calling in to say good luck and we hope we find the children.
Yeah. So, Phillip, what are you able to tell us about what police are doing now? Do you have an idea of what their next step is, considering the lack of information from the abductors especially?
I don't think that the police will share any information at this stage due to the sensitivity of this matter, as it can compromise the investigation and to find the children. So I don't have any other information that I can share with you.
Sure. And from the family's point of view, do you have an idea of what the next strategy is? I understand the family itself has already called on the public to assist in ways through which they can. Is there anything that they're planning to do you know?
Well, they are in the hands of experts with regard to the handling of this matter, so there's nothing else coming forth from the family.
All right. Phillip Smit, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us. Really troubling situation there. Details apparently still scant around where the children are and, of course, the motive behind their abduction. It's obviously a developing story that we'll keep watching for you. Phillip Smit is the family lawyer of the Moti family in Polokwane.